Today, I'm critiquing Logan Paul's $32.5 million mansion in Puerto Rico, so if you ever decide to design, build, or buy a mansion, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad, I'm the mansion guy. Let's watch this video together.
This is me loading up my $336,000 Wayne Gretzky final championship game hockey stick. I'm bringing it home and the audio's coming soon. Okay, here we go and now.
Thanks guys, be safe, I'll see you next time. Let's go to Puerto Rico! Hoorah, brother!
Yeah, why do we have so much stuff? Well, I'll tell you, we just got a new crib in Puerto Rico, which we're pretty excited about. I'm leveling up in my life a little bit. A lot, actually.
Still humble.
You have to remain humble. I don't know if y'all remember, this is for the OGs. When I moved to my house in LA, it was a big deal.
Oh, yo, it looks so good at night.
I felt years of this hard work manifesting to this amazing, amazing house.
Now, this is really interesting because this property was remodeled by Noble LA. He's designed a lot of mega mansions in Los Angeles. I have critique videos of many of them. If you haven't seen it, subscribe to the channel and check it out after this video. And funny enough, I interviewed to get this listing before Logan bought it, and I did not get the listing. This property did not appreciate as much as the rest of the properties in Los Angeles. It performed really poorly, in fact. And the main reason for that was that this property is located in a very family-friendly neighborhood, and the property is more designed for a bachelor YouTuber like Logan.
Let's go, come on, Dace.
Back in Puerto Rico, holy smokes. Man, I've been world traveling, bro. I got married. I wrestled John Cena. My daughter's about to turn 1, and I got a new house. It's gonna be a great week.
Hi, how are you? Hey, can we film yet? It's your house. Let's go.
Okay, let's talk about the wow factor, because as soon as you walk in, you got this staircase kind of intruding to your entrance, which is not ideal. And straight on, there's a big opening, sliding doors, no column in the middle, and you see the greenery. Now, I believe it's a little overexposed, but you should be able to get a partial ocean view from this floor, and that's good. Considering you're in North Dorado Beach, Ritz, Carlton Resort, you're farther back from the beach, so you get treetop views from your first floor, because the ones that are ocean view, obviously front row gets ocean view, but the other ones typically don't get any ocean view because you're level with the ocean.
Oh, she likes it. Yay! See the trees?
Okay, this wine cellar is really cheap. First of all, it's completely exposed to the elements, okay? That's not good for your wine. But you typically see wine cellars tucked in under a staircase in a $2 to $4 million home because they didn't have enough space to allocate. So they're just playing really smart with the spaces to kind of tuck it in and create a backdrop so the staircase doesn't look so ugly. And you get the wine cellar checklist off your mark. For a property of $32.5 million, not good at all. Very cheap. And then the railings are also cheap. The finishes seems to be very cookie cutter developer, like just the standard finishes. Nothing in the ultra high end category so far.
Yeah, it's pretty surreal, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I can't imagine living here. Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's talk about the great room, because it wasn't so great. It was good. It was proportional, but it wasn't really grand. You had a dining table on one side, great place to put it. And then you had a smaller side seating arrangement for your formal living space with no other utility. I would have liked to seen a bar. I would have liked to seen a pool table. I would have liked to seen some element that would encourage you to use this space that is allocated to the central view of the property. Because if you don't, you're never going to use the best, most central spot in your property. And in this case, if he doesn't make changes to it, I don't think he will ever spend that much time in that room.
Dude, this is fucking sick. Oh man, I got a yard.
Okay, there's not that much footage, but this must be the worst movie theater I've ever seen. Can you spot the flaw? I always pause the frame and ask my subscribers to spot the flaw, because it's a muscle you have to exercise if you want to buy better homes, design better properties for yourself. You have to get good at this. And this one is a freebie. There's so much crap going on. It's really an easy one. And actually speaks volume to the level of quality that spec builders in Puerto Rico are producing, because it's really, really bad. I will tell you guys why at the end of the video. It's not really surprising to me. Okay, first and foremost, you have carpet rolling to the side of the stairs, glued on, really, really cheap, okay? Then there's an outlet over here in the front of the stairs, a really weird place to put it, but then it doesn't even match symmetrically to the one on the other side. Like, what the hell is going on? And then there's this indentation, the back wall behind where Logan is sitting, that comes out, that goes over the stairs, and then it comes down again. You can see the carpet back here as well. It's just really weird. And then there's no soundproofing. Like, it's just regular walls, and then porcelain or marble floors, which are, again, craftsmanship is pretty weak. You can see the lines over here from, very far away, and it's not ideal. What this tells me, this was basically a room. They built a mezzanine level on the top. They bought a bunch of cheap movie theater chairs and put it on and called it a movie theater. For $32.5 million, this is unacceptable.
This is crazy. I'm having a really hard time processing this.
I think that's completely understandable.
Really?
Yeah.
Just never had a house this nice in my life.
Okay, here's the primary suite. Let me tell you the good and the bad. The good is the dimensions. Very large room, good ceiling heights, good width, good ratio. Opens up to the partial ocean view, treetop view that you have. You should be able to get ocean view from this level. It's not going to be a clear ocean view. You'll probably get, 10-20% over there with the sky, gets a check mark. But here's the negative. No taste whatsoever. I mean, talking about playing it safe. White floors, white walls, white curtains, and then black windows. Come on. This is not a home. This is complete, what developers will build in a, $1 to $2 million home finish is just like a cookie cutter house. It has a ceiling, it has walls, it has windows, no character whatsoever.
People said I grew up with a silver spoon. They said all my opportunities were handed to me, but that's not the truth. I worked really hard to make this happen, and make this life for myself and my family.
Okay, here's the view. You see about 10% ocean view. The rest is sky, and the bottom is green. I like that. It frames it, gives that tropical vibe. If I was going to score this view, I'll give it a 6.5.
And it's just crazy that this is how it's all manifesting. This house is insane, dude.
Insane.
This house is fucking insane. Maybe it is too much.
No, you gotta just let it sink in and give it time.
Maybe we should return it.
What?
I can't.
You don't want to do it anymore?
No, I want to do it.
Okay, let's talk about the lot and the backyard because it's by far the best feature of the property. Better than the view and better than the finishes, certainly. You have 2 flat areas with a very mild slope. You have a tennis court on the property, and then you have a massive, one of the biggest pools I've ever seen for a residential property. Great length, great width. It's fantastic. They just got to make sure they have safety features for their little daughter because it's very dangerous with kids crawling around.
This is her toilet.
You can have your privacy. I like sharing a toilet with you.
No, you don't. You literally don't.
I like sharing a toilet with
No,
you.
you get so shy. You get poop shy.
No, Nina. She doesn't mean that. I do. I get really poop shy, bro.
Okay, the finishes are not good in the bathroom either. Pay attention to the zigzag wall. What the hell is that for a $32 million property? And then limestone, that's it. Playing it safe to the max. But then again, I pay attention to the craftsmanship. Okay, that's super important. Everyone can buy the material, but can you correctly put it together? And that's a big deal because if you pay attention to the shelves right next to where Logan is standing, those shelves don't even fit in the spaces. There's gaps in between them. Very poor. Again, I don't think the craftsmanship is there whatsoever.
Let's go. Family outing. This is it. When I actually closed on this house, it wasn't a vibe. It was in some lawyer's office in a place I'd never been to before. None of my friends were there. It was just me surrounded by lawyers and agents who didn't have my best interest at heart. So it felt super predatory.
Did you hear what he just said? He said, I was surrounded by lawyers and real estate agents who didn't have my best interest in their heart. I'm not surprised, but if you're watching this, you probably assume all these ultra wealthy people have lawyers and real estate agents who really look after them. And it's farthest from the truth. First and foremost, at the upper echelon, the salespeople are the best. Okay, they can sell an ice to Eskimo. I'm talking about from your, financial advisor, from the hedge fund manager, from the top end real estate agents to the architect. These guys, number one, before they got good at their profession, they were incredibly good salespeople. Okay, 2. The whole structure of real estate is very binary for real estate agents. They're not incentivized to tell you the truth so you won't buy a property because it's binary. If you don't buy, they're not going to make any money on the transaction. And that is exactly why if you're planning to buy, build, or remodel any property above $5 million, certainly above $10 million, you should 100% get a third person who's unbiased to the transaction. Why? Because they don't have anything to sell you. You pay them up front. Their whole duty, their fiduciary is towards you to look after your interest without any other upside down the road. And their whole process during that consulting phase is to make sure they do such a great job for you that at the end of the year you would renew. That is priceless. Now, you don't have to join my inner circle. You can find another person who's critiqued over 1,500 properties, has sold $36 million homes, has sold $20 million homes, have actually grabbed the hand of buyers, walked them through, knows what this demographic wants, has a taste, has analyzed properties worldwide, and has been a real estate agent for a very long time. Here's a QR code. I would love to help you. And even if I'm not for you, go find someone else. I truly believe you need it.
How does this feel?
This doesn't feel predatory at all.
Baby.
This feels sick. I got my daughter, my wife, my boys. Might as well bring the fucking dog. Come on, big boy. Important. This is a big moment for all of us. Dudley, you're coming, brother. Let's go. Pack it up. You're coming.
Okay, this is his current property. I believe he bought it for $10 million and it's listed for sale for $16 right now. This is critical. Pay attention. He just got married, okay? This happens to a lot of very successful bachelors. When they get married, the woman wants to put her own stamp, right? She doesn't want a house where you've been banging the whole time, okay? She wants a house that is a nest to grow a family. And they just had a kid. I think this is one of the main elements, not just the fact that he wants to provide for his family, but it's also his wife, right? That she wants a clean start. And this is very critical for the younger people who are very successful. You always think you're buying this property and it's forever. Very likely you will sell it once you get married and you will purchase another property. So remember that time horizon. Remember when you get into the deal, how far you are from potentially getting married, because most likely that property is going to sell and another property will come into the picture after marriage, certainly after having kids.
Hey, did you look at all these documents?
Everything.
Okay, I'm good?
You're good.
All right. Feels like I'm at a Fanatic signing a little bit. I got just the song for this when the time is right.
Let's see.
We got only one page left.
I saw my roommate's teeth. New that sun is on me. Peace to my old apartment now. 'Cause I just bought me a house. Headed to the top, I'ma be in
Oh my God.
see me in the Yeti 'cause the window's so tinted. I just
I can't help to smile. I don't even know him. I mean, I know who he is, but I don't know him personally. But if you've ever sold a property and walked through your clients, when you take them the keys, you open the first door and you walk them through the property, it's just one of the most beautiful things about selling homes. It's really a joy to watch because it's life-changing. And every time I've bought a property, I remember the first time I saw the property and I remember walking into the property for the first time and, you know, putting out luggage and whatever the first, you know, toilet paper and the stuff that you have to set up for like immediately to be able to kind of at least survive for a few days before all the, you know, your stuff gets there. Really cool to watch.
Yay! Yay! Oh man, look, you got a yard now? Yeah! I've been here for 3 years and we haven't had a yard. That makes me so happy to see him run around in the yard. That was like one of the reasons I got this house.
Did you hear what he just said? He always wanted the land, and that is the right approach. When you want to purchase a property, remember these 3 steps. First, buy the land, then buy the structure, then buy the finishes. Right now, you go to houses and you look at the kitchen countertops. You're starting from the last. That's the worst way of looking at a property, okay? That's the easiest and the cheapest thing to change. Then is the structure, right? The layout. That's also more expensive than the finishes. Important. But then the land is the most expensive to change, right? To change the elevation. You can't add or subtract. You have to buy another land to increase it, right? And then fix it. You can't move it away from a flood zone. You can't move it away from a tornado zone or, you know, earthquake zone or a fire zone. Like there's all these elements that you can't change. You can't change the dimension. So you got to start from that order. When I look at properties on Zillow or Redfin, I start with the backyard. I don't even look at the interior photos. I start with the backyard and make my way to the interior photos because that's the number one thing that I care about. I typically first actually go to the map and look at the lot, look at the neighbors, look at the street, and then the backyard, and then the finishes.
I got a fucking house! I got a fucking house! I just can't compute. I'm having a hard time processing this. I got a whole ass family and a house.
Okay, let's talk about the architectural style, because what architectural style? This looks like a 1960s building. Again, very poor for a brand new construction. No character, no taste, no flavor in this structure. There's no wood paneling, there's no architectural element. I mean, call it a white box because it's absolutely a white box. If I was Logan, I will put aside at least $3 million to renovate this property. It's really a gut job renovation. And the layout, I'm not so convinced yet because he doesn't show so much of this property. Hopefully, he will make a home tour video and I will get to critique that as well because this would be an ideal project to really make something special. And guess what? He will get every penny back times 3. If he spends $3 million on this property, he will get $10 million back for it. Why? Because none of the other developers, the spec developers, are building anything proper, which his taste would actually probably agree with. Because he's seen a lot of nice houses. And he probably knows it himself that the finishes of this property or the architectural elements of this property are nowhere close to being up to par to what's really necessary or, desired at the ultra luxury level. So every dollar spent on this property, considering that Puerto Rico has a 4% tax for your, income for people from United States who move in there, it's going to have continuous, really extremely demand because United States produce millionaires and billionaires daily, and maybe not daily on billionaires, but maybe monthly. And all these people, to preserve their wealth, they're moving to Puerto Rico, and they will look at the best of the best homes, and this just doesn't exist.
I feel like now, I have no choice but to make it work. When you make a purchase like this, at least for me, I try to level up in my head and level up in my life in a way where I'm life maxing and my output is going to have to be great. And in order for my output to be great.
What the hell is this? Is this a bar? Is this a TV room? Is this a library? Look at the paint job. Oh my God. What is happening here? This is really, really bad.
So obviously we just did a massive closing with this amazing gentleman and his beautiful wife and his beautiful kid. So in order to say thank you to them, we're gonna have Esme be the first person to open the gift for her new house. Look at your brand new car, Esme!
Whoa! Oh, I think she likes it. She's gonna love this thing. Whoa!
This is a horrible garage. I'm not surprised. I have 2 clients from Puerto Rico in my inner circle, and it's just all of them are like this. Really, really bad finishes. I mean, you got tile floors and electrical panels with a fridge just sitting there. Very poor finishes.
Here we are in my closet. We're moving. Everyone who's moved knows that shit sucks. But I've collected a lot of things over the years. I'm gonna show you guys some of the wacky stuff in my closet. Got a ton of Polaroid extras from 99 Originals here. My wackiest pair of shoes.
Is it that you have 15 pairs of white Air Forces?
Bro, the issue is they just get so dirty so quick. You just put on the next clean pair.
What are the ones all the way at the top?
Oh, fuck. These are both wacky. Like, can I wear these since I'm from Ohio? Like these bedazzled Louboutins? I don't know.
That's so funny he says that, because finishes in a house are just like this. When you decide to choose a really busy marble or a really wacky, crazy design that might be even in some segments of the country, in a few years, they age as bad as those shoes. Okay, let's talk about the location because I give it a 9.5 and I will tell you guys exactly why. If you're a high net worth individual and you're planning to move to Puerto Rico for the weather, okay, you're going to have very, very limited options. More than half of my consulting clients from Puerto Rico live in this community, either south or north, okay? Very limited option, and it's very clear. You're going to find it extremely difficult or almost impossible to find any other neighborhood that has the security and the amenities that you would expect, or you're at least used to from United States, okay? It just doesn't exist. Maybe it will in 5-10 years. One of my friends and clients is building a community over there right now, but that's for the future. I'm just telling you, your options are pretty much this. Now, south of the highway, you have a combination of big mansions and townhouses and condos. Not bad. You're probably like an 8 to 8.5 over there. North of the highway, you're 9 if you don't have any views. He has partial ocean view, and that's a 9.5. Now, if you were also on the golf course and had ocean view, you would be what? 9.75 or a 10. Or if you were front row ocean, you would get a 10 as far as location. So it's extremely good location. And there are literally a handful of properties in the 9 category. Extremely limited, and that's why you see the ridiculously high prices for really, really crappy products. But the funniest thing is that you hear people saying, you know, with real estate, location, location, location. And I really believe timing. But if you want to take it one level higher than that, it's really, you know, tax incentives or policy, right? Imagine like the US IRS tax policy has had an enormous impact on this community. If you bought a property, a condo, a lot in this location, you know, before this policy was put into place, you would have, you know, maybe 3x, 4x your property.
More old wrestling gear for my matches. Shotgun on the wall. Any perps come by, we're ready to go. It is loaded. Under it, we have some Heelys. There's a lot of stuff in here. We got to get it to the other place. This is a big moment. My brother's coming over right now.
Okay, 2 things. From that really tight angle where we saw his wife in the kitchen, I don't think this house is that big. If I was going to guesstimate the square footage, if it's only 2 stories, it did have stairs, but that could be a garage. Without the garage, the 2 floors, I would put it at 8,400 square feet. Okay, I could be incorrect. There's no information on this property, bedroom count, bathroom count, any of the other stuff, so we would never know. But the element that I saw that excited me is the coffered ceiling in that area. That was the only sign of warmth in the property that I've seen. The other element, he said to celebrate these moments with his brother. I think that's a personal lesson I've learned, where if you don't learn how to celebrate the correct way, you celebrate the wrong way. Now, this celebrating the wrong way for me could be something that is different than you, but I've learned to celebrate these moments is very critical. Even the small wins every day. If you don't celebrate them, you don't celebrate the big ones. And the funny thing is that when you do a big move, like buy a big house or have an exit or have a major success, what do you feel like doing immediately? The number one thing that you end up doing is you want to pick up the call and you want to share your success with someone, your wife, your brother, your mom, your dad. But the funny thing is that how often do we call them while we're making that step towards success? Isn't that interesting? You do all that hard work for really that phone call to call them or invite them over. But during that time, we sometimes neglect the people who are closest to us. So lesson for me, lesson for everybody.
Hey, brother.
Hi, congrats. This is amazing.
Thank you, dude.
Good to see you.
Welcome.
I mean, right there, that's the money shot right there.
Oh, yeah.
Jake, it's called a wow factor, okay? Now pay attention to the scale. Do you see what I'm saying? Like ceiling heights, width, height ratio, very proportional room, but then it's not that big. Maximum I will put it at 8,400 square feet. Unless it has a massive basement that he just didn't show. Now, typically I give an Arvin score at the end of the video, but there's just not enough information on this property to give it an Arvin score. If you want to subscribe, this is a good time to do it. If you want to see Jake's house, click over here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.